Okay.
Okay.
I think this is working. Good. Oh, just a stack. Hasn't. Thank you very much. That definitely wasn't necessary. I'm still working out how all this sort of stuff goes, so you'll have to bear with me on this. I'm sort of a little bit old and lost. And that's sort of how I feel as well. Either way, I think I'm just going to paint something. So I thought what I would do, seeing as this is the first live stream, is I would show you something kind of cool that's coming up in a new video and get your thoughts on it. I don't know. Let's just see if we can work that out. So there's the video. How's that now? Is that any better? Just trying. Yeah, good. Okay, I have 2 audio feeds on, so noob. There you go. So I thought I would show you this, which is hopefully kind of exciting. So this, as you can see, is a painting box, and what I thought I would do is, some of you on the Discord may have seen these already. I painted up these tiny little Battletech figures. This is actually a king crab. So for scale, that is a normal size king crab. And this is hopefully a 10mm scale king crab. So what I thought I would try and do is make like a travel chess version of Battletech. Now, it's not very impressive at the moment, I'll grant you that. But so far what I've done is I've taken an art box, smashed all the dividers out of it. I have stuck some magnetic sheeting down to the bottom, and I've covered it with PVA glue and grit. So hopefully what should happen is, yep, our little king crab stays magnetised. If you can't stay long, that doesn't worry, Mikey. That's absolutely fine, mate. I'm only going to keep this short anyway because, I don't know how much you want to hear me ramble live. Normally you hear me filtered on YouTube, and that's usually the better way to hear me, not the rambling, uncut version of me. So basically what I thought I would do today is I'm just going to try and lay down some colour on it. If it doesn't work and the airbrush and the air compressor is way too noisy, what I'm going to do is move on to something quiet and do it with a brush instead. So, experiment number 2 of the evening, airbrush compressor. And I'm just going to kick it on and we'll see how noisy it really is. Is that okay? So this is a Badger Patriot Extreme Edition, which is the one I like because it's got a tall trigger. The other one's a little shorter. But okay, I've just turned the volume back up again. I wasn't sure how noisy it was going to be, so it looked like it was peaking a little bit. So if that does anyone's head in, just let me know, alright? The other thing I'm trying today is this, which is Acryl Prime, which I picked up when I was in Element Games, and it's the first time I've actually used a primer. Normally I don't bother, but I thought I'd put my big boy pants on and try some actual primer. I was in on the weekend, mate. I had to go up for a friend's birthday party. I'll be back up at Christmas though, so I'll give you a message when I'm back up. It was a bit of a whistle-stop tour, to be honest with you. I was supposed to be going to Artist Opus, but unfortunately they cancelled on me at the super last minute. So I actually went up going a little bit later and just spent a bit of time with my mum and yeah, just sort of chilling out really. So it was quite nice. Finally a primer, I know. That's exciting, isn't it? So let's... That's why we love gloves. This could take a while. If this was on YouTube, I'd speed forward past this bit, but sadly you don't have that privilege. I don't know if it's just a me thing either. I think I don't often hear about people not using primers, but I genuinely haven't used one really. I generally just use whatever colour I have and just spray that on it. I've never really suffered at all from it. I don't know if that's just me or not. As always, when I went into Element, I spent way too much money. I bought some Gamers Grass basing bits as well, which honestly I sort of feel was a bit of a con. They're just laser cut bits of grass, so I sort of regret buying them a little bit. I'm sure they'll look good when I'm on the model though. I hope so anyway. I was very disappointed. They were about 10 quid as well. That was a fail, wasn't it? If anyone was looking at that massive drip of paint, that was obviously done on purpose. I just forgot I was carrying an airbrush and it doesn't have a lid. Yeah, you're right. It's yeah, not priming is probably a worse crime than not varnishing. Luckily I've got an old cheap brush which I keep in a little cup over there, so I'll just... I don't have to be too careful with this thankfully, so it's just... I'm literally just priming everything, so it's all good. Yeah, that probably would be faster. It's a bit more expensive to do it that way. To be honest with you, I was debating using just normal craft paints for this, but I decided, I actually don't know why I decided to do it this way, to be honest. It's loads more expensive and I should have done it with craft paint, but hey ho. We've normally got loads of craft paint around this house because the kids are always using it. I'm now happily airbrushing my keyboard, which is lovely. And obviously I should be wearing a mask, but I'm not, so I'll have to deal with that too. The needle size is a 0.3 needle on this one, and the pressure, honestly, with this compressor, sadly I spilled some UV resin on the pressure gauge, so I'm never 100% sure, but it's, I think it's running around about 20. I want to say something like that. It is working really nicely without thinning though. So it's, I'd sort of expect that from Pro Acryl. Everything they do is sort of designed around just sort of popping into the pot and just boshing straight out, which is one of the reasons I love them. I'm obviously not going to leave it as just an empty box like this. I've got some XPS foam on order. So I'm going to be making some terrain out of it, hopefully making some cool Battletech type buildings out of sprue, and then obviously painting everything up. The other cool thing I'm going to do is I am going to print out onto some acetone. I'll show them it age a little bit now. Do you know the stuff they used to use for putting on overhead projectors for displaying images at school? Maybe not, maybe you're all too young for that, but it's I've got some of that. I'm going to run that through the printer and then print a hex mat over the top of it, so that I've got a removable hex mat, and that will allow me to use it for small scale stuff like Kill Team, but also use it for Battletech too, which I think is kind of cool. And the whole thing will be scaled down, so this thing should be scaled down to around about a 6 foot by 2 foot table, something like that, 6 foot by 3 foot. Yeah, I think it should work quite well for the hex. I've not actually done it yet, so we'll see how well it actually does work. But hopefully it will work. As I say, why do an easy project if you can make life loads more complicated, eh? thank you very much for turning up, guys. I really appreciate it. And like I say, I'm actually pretty nervous about doing this for the first time. I'm not very good at this sort of. I'm not bothered about live speaking or anything like that. I'm actually quite comfortable in front of an audience, but it's I don't know, tech scares me somewhat, as Moss will happily attest to. It took me about a year to psych myself up to do the Discord server, so it's a live stream feels like a massive step. Yeah, I appreciate that, Moss. It's just knowing you're here is a comfort. I might even have to send Moss a Christmas card. What do you think? Need to have a Discord chat about what to put in Moss's Christmas card. What pun do you think he'll appreciate it? No, I didn't do a community post on YouTube. I wanted this one to be Discord only, mainly because of aforementioned scared of tech reasons, but yeah, also because it's I wanted this one to be sort of like a just between us sort of thing to start off with. If anyone happens to drop in randomly, then they're more than welcome, obviously, but yeah, I honestly I didn't really think about that, to be honest with you, because you don't even know the questions to ask if you don't know the questions to ask, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But I'm very happy to give you and Para extra permissions if you're willing to do it. As ever, guys, I'm always happy. I sort of tend to plough on with this sort of stuff on my own, just because I assume people won't want to help, or I don't like putting it on people. So the fact you're even willing to do it is still so kind of mind blowing to me, to be honest with you. But that sort of looks primed, to be honest with you. How's that look? It looks very even on camera, doesn't it? Doesn't look too bad. There's a few patches. I think I'll have to end up going over a few bits. I usually end the paint somehow. There we go. Now I've got to clean that in airbrush. Shut that for a second. Have the really exciting job of cleaning an airbrush. I actually struggle with thinning from time to time. It's, I never quite get the right ratio. So it's I tend to prefer paints that I can just sort of drop and go, which is why I like Watercolour so much. I tend to do it all by eye, so I don't use like ratios. I tend to just sort of go, that looks about right, and see. That's why I like the Badger, because it's just super reliable. That'll do for now. You don't need to watch me clean an airbrush. I have no idea how frequently this is going to be. To be honest with you, it's probably going to be a time thing. I'm going to try and do it once a month, though. I think monthly sounds like the sort of right sort of volume. I don't need to be doing everyone's head in with, well, particularly when I say everyone, I mean Para and Moss is head in by doing regular live streams. That'll make everyone insane. But also, I don't want to put the extra pressure on myself. So it's, I've got a lot going on at work. As some of you know, I run a charity outside as my main job, so it's extremely busy at the moment. So we look after sort of vulnerable kids and kids who are sort of struggling at school with mental health problems. And, well, yeah, post pandemic, there's lots of that around. So, yeah, extremely busy doing that. And then the YouTube channel, and then Discord, and then actually painting things occasionally. So, yeah, I've got quite a lot on. So probably only once a month is the very long answer to that very short question. Now, what should I do as another colour? I think I'm probably going to do something like... some sort of dark green colour. So I've just went to the cabinet. I posted a photo of my paint rack, so if you want to see that sort of stuff. This is Vallejo model colour intermediate green. Any old green will do, that's fine. And then the cable won't stretch. This is I just see the corner of a paint shaker just there. Kick that off now for a second, you don't need to hear the compressor. You're not working this weekend, Moss? Yeah, we think we might get snow this week as well. It's been about sort of -5, -6, maybe even colder overnight. We've lost water a couple of times. We haven't got any water at the yard at the moment because all the pipes are frozen, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. Everyone's been bringing down jerry cans of water to keep the horses watered. But for the most part, it's okay. As I say, I'm just being a bit... Okay, that's not too bad then. That's not too bad. That's at least you've got some time to yourself. We'll see what happens there. As I say, I'm just guessing with this sort of stuff. It doesn't really matter what colours I'm putting down, to be honest with you. The point is I just want to lay some sort of colours down and I'll just build it up in various patches. So it'll darken up as it goes down anyway. And worst case scenario is I'll paint over it. So we'll sort of see what it looks like. That's looking alright. Nice. Oh, 24 hours. People keep suggesting doing 24-hour builds and stuff like that. I just don't know if I can hack it, to be honest with you. If I miss like 6 hours sleep, I'm an absolute nightmare and it ruins me for weeks. So I don't know. I've sort of got a bit soft maybe. But yeah, maybe for charity. That'd be a good thing for charity. We've got a charity crowdfunder at the moment actually, so they are really useful. So for the charity I work for, we've got a charity live stream going, a crowdfunder going at the moment. So that's got 30 days left. We've raised nearly £8,000, which is beyond amazing. Oh, that's why it's not working. I turned my compressor off earlier, didn't I? Like an idiot. The idea is it's going to be a sort of like a ruined urban environment. So I'm going to start off with sort of the green bases down there. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry, keep flipping between three conversations. So, you mean just join for a single hour? Yeah, I'd definitely be up for a 24-hour live stream with lots of YouTubers. That'd be more manageable. I don't fancy sitting there on camera for 24 hours. That sounds absolutely horrific, as I've already said. Yeah, Moss, I'm probably going to do a sort of ruined urban environment, so I'm going to be sort of just layering up colours. Which so it looks a bit sort of weird and random at the moment. Partly because I'm just doing it randomly, but also because I've not started laying in any colours. So I usually start like this, and then it ends up looking okay by the end of it. So that's sort of how I'm doing it now. Yeah, you're exactly right. I need as much beauty sleep as I can possibly get as well. This face doesn't come for free, right? It's a face only a mother could love. So I'm going to lay in some yellows and stuff now. If you haven't got one of these, by the way, you should definitely get one. It's a little, I think they're called tattoo water bottles. They're absolutely incredible. I use it all the time. It costs about £3 and it's one of my favourite things. Yeah, face or radio, exactly that. Well, the good thing is about having a face or radio is I don't have to look at myself, not very often anyway. So it's just you poor sods that have to do that. Gold brown. I think we're going to go for khaki. Yeah, khaki grey. That sounds like a solid option, doesn't it? Wow, 26 minutes gone already. That's happened quite quickly. Anyone would think I was having fun or something. Always helps if you actually put the lids back on your paint. I think this is my favourite Vallejo colour. They do so many cool colours of khaki. I didn't know there were this many colours of khaki, but they do so many of them. And this is the colours I tend to paint like the king crabs and that sort of stuff about. Ah yes, diarrhea brown. Lush. Sort of almost don't need the airbrush now, I can just sort of step it on. What do you think? Sort of looks alright, doesn't it? I want to say it's not entirely obvious, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing either, so that's why I love doing stuff like this. You just make it up as you go. I got this idea from Bill Making Stuff. If anyone doesn't follow Bill Making Stuff on YouTube, you definitely should. His videos are really weird, but just excellent. Really, really excellent. Yeah, I do quite. Sam, yeah, I have seen Nick's latest video. He gives me a shout out at the end of it, actually. So I'm really pleased. I've been chatting to him for a little while about the how to paint rivets. So ever since I did my Spartan tank video with the paint pens. So yeah, no, it's a really good video. It's one of Nick's best videos. I'm a massive CC Minis fan. He's another one with an amazing YouTube channel. If you haven't checked him out. He does an absolutely hilarious video about making weathering pigments where he animates various chalks and then murders them. It's really, really good. Hey Drath, how are you? So it's really good fun. Really good fun. But yeah, Nick's video is excellent. I have used a green screen before. I use green screens quite a lot. I use them a lot in my Battletech narrations and stuff like that when I'm on that sort of stuff. I usually muck it up somehow by forgetting to mask my eyes, so I end up with weird transparent eyes and stuff. But yeah, no, it's fun. I've got a wall just there, which is the same colour as the blue behind me. So which I can use and just there's a big flat wall which I can just key out, which I designed exactly for that purpose. Really? I don't. What sort of videos do you follow on YouTube, Moss? I tend to follow editing YouTubers, lots of hobby YouTubers, like about 150 different hobby YouTubers, and then lots of crafting ones as well. So Geordie Crafts and The Craftsman and North of the Border and Bollier Hobbies and that sort of stuff, who make just incredible videos. Yeah, no, fair enough. So it's I quite like random, to be honest with you. I don't like planning things, which is can make projects where you need planning incredibly stressful. But if you don't need planning like this, then it's actually okay. I've just hilariously realised I'm going to have to reuse some of this footage in the actual video about this project. So it's I'm either going to have the live stream window in the video, which I definitely won't have, or I'm just going to have to do some creative editing. Nothing, that's that sort of situation is why planning is a good thing, and not doing things randomly is a good thing. What's going on here is and I'll show you again what's going on. So I'll just build up a few layers of this sort of stuff. Is I am painting up a box to do small scale wargaming. Think like travel chess sets, but Warhammer and BattleTech. That's the idea. Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely lose the audio and voice over it. I'm just talking about I'm recording the footage. So this will be available on YouTube. I'll have a little cutout square in it, so I'll only be able to use half of it and exit. I'll make it work. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not that worried. I've only just thought about it. So you don't need 35 minutes of me painting a box on a YouTube video anyway. You probably only want about 10-15 seconds. Yeah, it's going to be about 10 mil scale actually. So it's that's what I'm aiming at. So it's so it should look about right, I think. So the minis are, let me just get a stand for the airbrush so it doesn't fall over because it's got paint in it. That's my little crappy airbrush stand. It's exciting, isn't it? So these things here, how have we got? So that's a Mackie, a BattleTech Mackie. You can see the size of that. A BattleTech Mackie is usually, he says, looking for one. There he is. Sorry, I had to go all the way to the work in progress shelf for that one. So this is a BattleTech Mackie, normally. And this is the small scale version. So this is 6mm scale for BattleTech, so it's even smaller than that for this one. But it's but yeah, this is cool. So it's and then if you get one of the something like if you know BattleTech, then so that's a Mackie and that's an Urban Mech in the same scale. So tiny little gremlins, and the whole thing's magnetic. So I should just be able to drop these in. A satisfying little pop, and then they stay there. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. The other cool thing I've got in this one as an option, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make it work yet, is because it was an art box. I've got an old cutout palette that I use in here, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to work something in. So I've got little, I might use it for containing miniatures or dice or something like that as a dice rolling tray. Like I say, I'm not sure, but that's kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah, I was looking around for epic scale stuff because I saw all the stuff you were posting on the Discord as well, and it's so much fun, but it's so expensive. I was just gonna print some. I'm definitely gonna print off some Space Marines because you can't make a YouTube video without mentioning Space Marines somehow. Oh, that's a bit rude. Hey nerd. Oh good grief. I'll let you get away with it because you're you. That's fine. But yeah, so it's so that's all right, isn't it? I'm quite excited about this little project. I was hoping to get it done for this week, but clearly not going. That's clearly not going to happen. So probably it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks away. This one. So this week's video is a mental health one, which I've scripted but not even started recording yet. So that's gone incredibly well so far. So it's yeah, Sam pimping his channel out. The Basic Brush is a good channel. There's no two ways about it. You should all follow the Basic Brush on YouTube. So it's you definitely should do that. Sam's a great guy as well. So it's and he's got an amazing beard, which I'm very jealous of. So it's yeah, indeed. So I think I was going to wrap it there at half an hour. How are we doing? Having fun? Or do you want to stay for longer? I can do that if you want. I have sort of allocated an hour. I need to turn slow mode off. Okay, that's good feedback. I have no idea. To be honest with you, I do remember turning slow mode on now. But yeah, I can't remember how to turn it off immediately. I'll have to look it up. Cool. Well, let's paint something else then, because I'm having fun at the moment. I'm going to stay, that's fine. I do have to go in an hour because I have got an entire YouTube video to make before Sunday. So, yeah, we'll see. But, should I do more? Should I do more in the box, or should I paint something else? You're liking the project, fair enough. Let's see if I can turn slow mode off. Can you do that on the fly, Para? I don't know. Da, 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 da. Go for something else. Da, 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 da. I don't know if I can turn. How do I turn chat settings? No, I don't know if I can do it. That's fine. I'm gonna forget about it. Stop making me nervous, Para. Honestly. Let's carry on putting paint on this. So let's go for a slightly lighter green and get that palette over here. So da, 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 da. So no, we're gonna work in the box. It's easy. If you click the 3 dots next to my name, you can make me a mod. That's my answer to everything, though. Para is now a mod, everyone, so the future is looking bright for this stream. Well, that didn't work. I should have shaken that paint. Let's have a look. That's looking slightly better. A lot of these paints, I inherited a lot of these paints, so it's some of them been on the shelf for a little while. Sharp. Right. So I'm just trying to I don't know, tie it in, bring up highlights, bring in little bits and pieces, just to make it a bit brighter in the middle, just to make it look more interesting. I don't want it to look like camo, which is it's sort of looking like camo at the moment, so I might have to be a bit careful about that. Maybe a bit, try not to go too hard on it. Oh, hey, colour. Oh yeah, and I've got some of my original. So what's that? That's in fairness, my original Warhammer paints are probably 96, 97, something like that. But they're still going strong now, so it's like good old chestnut ink and stuff like that. Will never die. Oh yeah, Gilliman's coronation. I was chatting to him the other day. He was talking about maybe doing some bit swaps with it. So it's he's a really nice guy. But yeah, that is a labour of love. He deserves every single bit of subscribers. Not that I'm in any way jealous that he's pretty much already eclipsed me in terms of subscribers. But it's but yeah, no, that's a crazy project. I don't know how he's not gone insane. Are you still chipping away at the Crisis Protocol, Drath? Are you still there, Drath? I don't even know. That's sort of working, isn't it? That's not looking too ropey yet. I need to do something with this bit. It looks like someone's taken a dump in the corner. I'll sort that out in a minute. This is obviously a very posh texture palette, like what you would buy from Artist Opus. It's definitely not a cheap old bit of wood with some oil paint on it. That's a happy surprise. That looks quite good when you sort of lay it over the poo khaki brown. Sort of makes it look almost like a chemical spill or something. How's the shed build going, Moss? Have you finished yet, or is that this week's project more? Ah, that's a lie. GW never did that. I don't believe it. People just let the paint dry in the bits and pieces, or didn't put the lid, or didn't close the lid properly. Like I say, I've had those paint pots for like what? In all generations for like, what, 15, 20 years? People just love to complain about GW. And I like to use GW to complain about because it gets clicks. So I can't really complain because I'm a hypocrite. So there you go. This is quite good anger management, this one. So it's just randomly stabbing things on a camera. See, the clear six-sided ones are the ones I mostly have. They're still mostly alive, but yeah, no, they did all dry out at various stages. So it's, as long as you didn't leave them so long they dried out completely, you're okay though. You can just reactivate them. Okay, fair enough. So it's, I'm not sure if everyone else can see that. Mod is trying to help. Parrot is trying to help me turn off slow mode. I'm not quite sure what turning off slow mode will actually do, other than sort of speed up the chat. I suppose if you post once, then you're allowed to post again. But it's good. Other people can see that. Do you want to be a mod as well, Moss? You can be a mod. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you out. So it's I didn't realise that was how you did it, which is the only reason you're not a mod already. So it's let's have a look. Ooh, I'm gonna have to read things. This means having to do more than one thing at once. So excuse me for I look slightly distracted. Bloody hell. I can. Edit, customization. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see if this is possible. You can witness the magic. Oh, there you go. There's your little spanner too. Edit, customization, slow mode, save. Slow mode is off. Chat away. Thank you, Para. Sorry, I didn't realise that was a thing. And you should have all said. And you all know I have no clue what's going on. So it's right. If you start abusing it, I'm going to turn slow mode back on. I'm just going to warn you. I'm looking at you, Sam. This is good fun, actually. I wish I should have done this before. I don't know why I didn't. Should I listen to Kev? Kev isn't here, actually. It was this... Oh, yeah, no, please do. Yeah, did you hear that, folks? If you're too naughty, Sam, then Para will jump up and down on you. So this live stream is all the fault of one of the Discord members called Kev, and he was the one suggesting I did some sort of live stream and chat, which got me thinking about it, thinking it was something I probably should do, which made me feel guilty, which made me set it up. So that's good. Kev was here, was he? Oh, I'm sad I missed Kev. Sorry. So it was all his thing. I didn't even say hello. That's just how rude I am. Higher engagement is good for the old YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. I shouldn't criticise you, Sam. You know what you're doing. To be honest with you, I don't really get Games Workshop pots in general. I sort of don't mind the latest generation Games Workshop pots with the little lip. I get what they were trying to do, but I don't get why they haven't just shifted to dropper bottles now. It's just silly at this point. Not least because I think they'd sell an absolute fortune of them, and they probably charge twice as much as everybody else. But that's their call, not mine. I shall just buy less of their paint. That's absolutely fine. Some of their paints are great though. Like I say, some people rag on Games Workshop, but some of their paint, Mephiston Red and Corn Red, are some of my favourite paints of all time. I think nothing's happening now, so I need to put some more paint on that. And contrast paints are absolutely banging. Well, some of them are anyway. Some of them are absolute dog shit. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And they're all stupid sizes. You might even be able to see actually that those little hexagon racks. They're quite good. I don't mind those for storing them in, but then you have to have your paints, as I've got my paints here, stored horizontally, which is stupid. So it's anyway, it is what it is. I put my contrast paints in these fancy glass dropper bottles, which are very sort of hipstery, but they're just nicer to use. I quite like this. But contrast paints, I don't mind moving from different pots because it's just tipping it out. It takes about 10 seconds. You don't waste any paint. I cannot be any way bothered moving actual acrylic paint across because you just waste loads of paint. I'm not here for that. Hexagons are the bestigans, indeed. I don't know if there is a miniature maker who has the perfect pots, to be honest with you. The golden twist top ones, so that type. They're fine, but they the paint collects on top and stops the paint coming out, or it drips down the side and makes a load of mess, which is why it's all covered in white goo all over the outside of it. You've got the Vallejo ones, which are sort of, I don't know, normal droppers, but the dropper tips clog up, and then you squeeze too hard and your paint goes everywhere. The Pro Acryls use the same type. The Chimeras get paint all around the nozzle, which stops them shutting properly, so that's really irritating. No, I don't think there's a good one, to be honest with you. Heavy bodies are okay because you don't waste any paint doing that. You just squeeze off what you need. But they're sort of irritating as well. No, I don't know if there is a really good one. To me, it's quite nice because they're just glass jars, and you just dip in, take what you want, and away you go. Yeah, I agree. The main problem with the GW paints is they're small pots and they're just expensive. They're just branded, aren't they? That's just the problem. So it is what it is. Yeah, I've got twist caps on the Pro. When you say twist caps on the Pro, do you mean these ones? So they're like much the same as the golden high flows and stuff like that. They've just got little twist caps like that. They're okay. They've got the same problem though. They sort of clog up on the end and then the paint drips down the side. Oh yeah, no, exactly. Don't get it in the thread of the paint pot. Absolutely not. That's like I said, they're all got the pros and cons. That's hopefully I've got another paint range arriving from Ultra Acryl soon. So they've got slightly different pot design again. So I'm keen to see what they look like. To be honest, they're supposed to be quite good, but time will tell. They put a lot of effort into designing the pots, but you know, I know Kimera did, and I know Vallejo, they're tried and tested and all the rest of it. So it's not like people aren't trying to do the right thing. I think it's obviously just quite difficult. Oh, they've got a removable version, have they? Oh, fine, okay. I didn't know that. How's the Golden Demon entry going? Oh, it's going really well. Yeah, definitely. I have definitely been painting it regularly. He lies. So it's yeah. Do you want to see the Golden Demon entry? I'll show you the Golden Demon entry. It is sat. Where is it? Here it is. In all its glory. So there he is. It's complete with blue tack on the back for his wings. So his wings will sit like that. I'll have to enter it into Open Category because I can't enter it because it's got a 3D printed wings, but eventually he will look like that. So he will look quite cool when I eventually get some paint onto him. I've done a little bit of sculpting on him and I've got the arms in the right place. I need to make a spear somehow. And I need to do something with his head. He needs a head really to enter into Golden Demon, otherwise I can't do that. So I've got to work that out, but he's getting there. In my head he's getting there anyway. In reality I've done absolutely nothing. So, but still, we've got till, what, May before Golden Demon? We've got loads of time, right? Ha ha ha. But yeah, no, cheers for reminding me of another project I haven't finished, Sam. Appreciated. We were laughing about work in progress shelves earlier, and it's yeah, it's just not pretty at the moment. I've got lots and lots of unfinished things. I want to do a video about painting up my Stormcast because I made a video where I started the series and had all these cool ideas. And now I want to go back to it saying, yeah, that didn't go to plan. Here's me finishing it, sort of thing. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 500 hours. I'm not going to put 500 hours into it. I might try and sink 100 hours into painting him, and that'll get me of a standard, and I'll be pleased with the entry, and I'll show up with a model that looks half reasonable, and that'll be fine for me. I'm not interested in it, even if I don't get a pin or anything like that. As long as I get an entry sticker, I'll be relatively pleased, So yeah, I'm planning to go down. I'll be down for. I've booked the whole weekend for that, but it's at the beginning of an absolutely mental busy period for me. So I've got Golden Demon on the weekend, and then I come back and I'm away for my sister's wedding in Cyprus for 8 days, I think it is. Then I'm back in work for 4 days, and then I'm hosting Roman's painting class, which is 30 hours of solid painting and hosting people over a weekend. So that'll be absolutely finished at the end of that, and then I'm back in work for 4 days, and then I've got then I'm going to Roman's advanced painting class, which is another 30 hours of painting. So yeah, I will be absolutely finished in May. I've no idea. It's just incredibly bad timing with everything happening at the same time, but there it is. So what do you think? Does it looking okay? Does it sort of look like a ruined earthscape type thing? You can imagine some sort of ruined buildings and rubble and that sort of stuff knocking around. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Sam. I'm trying to do it as a money making exercise as well. So it's otherwise I would absolutely hook you up with a free ticket. But it's this is basically how I'm going to be trying to make some money to fund the channel doing painting classes. Hopefully, if Romans goes relatively well, I'll be inviting other people down though. So hopefully, it won't be the last one. And I'm planning to not. Romans is relatively expensive. I'm hoping to get some sort of slightly cheaper classes going too, with still good painters, but just maybe you aren't international celebrities. Yeah, I think building rocks. Once start adding it and adding it and adding it. Well, one day when I'm rich and famous myself and people think I'm a decent painter, I might come across to Sweden myself, mate. But until that day, and you'll have to just sort of follow on with the channel and stuff like that. We have talked about doing live streaming and stuff like that for Roman, but it's I don't know. He that's how he makes his money too. So I can completely understand if he doesn't want to do that. I've sort of run out of paint now, so I don't want to put any more on. Nice. So there he is. I might even put my little men in it, so I'll keep him safe. Just because I also like the magnets on the bottom. I've literally just stuck some 1 mil thick and 20 mil across thin magnets onto the bottom, and they've got hollow hex bases, which are slightly wonky, but because of all the sand and gravel, it doesn't really matter. They're wonky anyway. I'm not in any way bothered about that because they're all slightly at funny angles. So there you go. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? Cool. And with the closing of the box, so endeth the live stream. So, listen, I just wanted to say thank you so much for keeping me company. I have had an absolute blast. Actually, this hour's gone incredibly quickly. I will definitely be doing it again. I might even try to do something a little bit posher with terms of overlays, and maybe I'll know a little bit more what I'm doing at that point. But for now, I'm going to wrap up, and I will be still floating around editing, so I'll still be in the Discord. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I've had a lot of fun. Cheers, guys.